The Orcs Goblins are seeking revenge against any opponent they can get. So now they're playing Highborn elves again. With the exact same army as from the 2 previous battle reports against Highborn elves. That is 2 flame phoenixes proxied. The Orcs Goblin list is same as yesterday. The Highborn elves dropped all their units after a couple of drops, so they go first. That's the white lions with quite some swordmasters proxying in there. The general in the white lion chariot. Archers, silverams, bolt throwers and an eagle. Der er Highborn elves turen.
Du må vanguard.
Jeg må vanguard. The grotlings and the goblin general with the mage and bowman vanguard. Now it's Highborn elves turn 1. Any charges?
Nope.
All the Orcs Goblins advance on their first turn. After Highborn elves have moved forwards, doing very little damage, just picking off 6 goblins there, and the Flame Phoenix burning a couple of grotling wounds, 3 grotling wounds, and that was it. On Orcs Goblins turn 1, they shoot at 3 fanatics and kill about 9 white lions, and take 1 wound off the elf general in the lion chariot. Other than that, no action, a couple of spells. So the goblins here are flammable. The mage and general left the unit, preparing for better days. They're like the directors of big banks, they just run when things get hard and leave the goblins to struggle. The Highborn mage casts Glory of Gold on his general, doing 17 on the 5 dice. The goblin shaman almost dispels but misses by 1. And he puts the attribute on the giant, so he's flammable and being attacked by flaming attacks from the Highborn general. The battle standard bearer on a squig hopper, the general which left the unit and the mage managed their panic test after about 30 goblins flee through them after having lost the combat against the white lions, who pursued but didn't catch them. So they're preparing themselves for a holiday in warmer lands. The Highborn general killed the giant with multiple wounds before the giant could retaliate. The Spearman reform. Orcs Goblin turn 2. A lot of things happened, and since the Orcs Goblins did well, of course they have amnesia and don't remember what they did. But they've sent several fanatics forth through the white line units. A scrap wagon and the Gnasher herd attacked the general chariot. Both the scrap wagon and the Gnashers exploded after losing the combat, but they did a wound to him. The scrap wagon here impacted the fire phoenix very badly and killed it. The goblins shot a lot of white lions, but the fanatics took more. The trolls and giant charged the spearmen together with the important grotlings, and they killed a lot of spearmen, winning the combat. So this is how it looks, and it looks like we'll have to end early because we're playing on an evening. In the central combat, The trolls are killed, and the grotlings lose 5 wounds. The giant is stubborn, and the grotlings flee automatically. So on High Elf turn 3 he charged with the white lion chariot into the trolls. The white lions took a random movement and charged into the trolls. That's what slayed them. But the giant remains. Har han fulla liv, eller har han mistet liv? Han mistet ett, eller?
Han har ikke mistet liv.
The giant has full wounds.
Og min BSP døde på miskast.
The Highborn elf battle standard bearer and mage died because of a miscast, 5 dying. Spell number 6 on alchemy. Because this combat was essential and we're deciding this is the last turn. But they won the combat decisively anyway, so maybe you should have avoided the miscast.
No, it was because the spearman did 11 wounds or something. Because of the reroll to wound.
Of course, they did have
no
flammable attacks against the trolls with no regen.
Archers og silverhams.
Ja, jeg lar bare være å filme archerne når jeg tar battle reporten. Ja. The central combat was very special. The general and mage with the goblin archers charged the general in the highborn chariot, and they won the combat. He fled. They pursued into the central combat with the flame phoenix, spearman, and so on, and they added to the combat resolution so that they won the combat and pursued down the flame phoenix and spearman, etc. So they won the central combat and now have a scoring unit. We decided this was the last turn. So the Highborn elves had the archers remaining on the battlefield.
All silverhams.
And the silver
All
elves.
vulture.
And the vultures.
Me.
They would have slaughtered the goblins. We agree they would have slaughtered the goblins. Enough said. The archers were up here, but we removed them from the battlefield because it's closing in on midnight. And we had some interesting rules questions about the central combats when things started getting complicated with 3 and 4 units and it's late in the evening. So we'll be going through it with a club.